Hey everybody, welcome back to the shop. I'm Chevy and this is the fourth video in the design series for Madder Than a Hatter. It's been a few weeks, life's been crazy busy with my day job, my duties for Portal games, conventions, client work, so I haven't had a chance to come down here and really record a video, and because of that, I cheated. I had to do some development work off camera. I really wanted to avoid that through this whole process, but I couldn't. So while I was away on planes and in cars, and I worked on the design quite a bit, play tested it a few times, and I'm here today to show you how the game plays. If you follow my blog, yesterday I posted print and play file for the cards. If you don't follow my blog, there's a link in the description if you want to try it. This week, I did all of the graphic design work for the front of the cards. So all of the hats have been drawn, the layout's finalized, it's ready to go. They look like this. So that's a boater hat. Nice simple layout, nothing crazy going on there. And the idea is I wanted them to look like a, like a 1900s print ad. So very subtle colors. Everything's hand drawn, and no photographs or anything like that. So it's all hand drawn. So where we left off last time with the way the hands are dealt, the river of cards, the flow of the game, that all stays. I added some special abilities to the deck because that had to be done. They had to be tested, and I'm here to show you exactly how the game plays so that you can help me play test. All right, let's talk about the theme. In Madder Than the Hatter, each player represents a haberdasher who is trying to get inventory for his store. And the deck of cards is the Hatter. He's making hats one at a time and putting them out on a sort of assembly line. So that's what's going on here with what we were calling the river. This is the assembly line of hats. So as a haberdasher, when I go to see the Hatter, I just get whatever's next, and that's it. And I go, I'm just trying to get inventory as quickly as possible for my store, so I'm taking each hat. In addition to that, the Hatter is making premium hats, and I'll show you what that looks like. So the one on your left is a premium hat. You see the starburst pattern and the text on the card. The premium hats have special abilities. So these are valuable to you as a store owner, right? And when you play them, you get to do something special. The whole object of the game is to have the best inventory in your store and kind of stick your opponents with the worst inventory. You're going to score points for having singles because you want a variety of inventory, not a bunch of the same stuff. And you'll score points for having an exclusive hat. So if you have 4 of a kind, then you have that, you have an exclusive hat in your store, so you'll get 5 points for that. So that's the theme. Let me show you how it plays. To begin a game of Madder Than the Hatter, you're going to take the 32 card deck and you're going to shuffle them. And you're going to deal out 1 card face up and 2 cards face down to each player. For this video, I'm going to record as if we're playing a 4-player game. This is only a 3 or 4-player game. If anybody has any ideas for how to make it work with 2 players, please let me know. After the hands are dealt, you're going to flip 5 cards face up in the middle of the table. That is the assembly line. And then place the Hatter deck at the end. So the hat farthest from the Hatter is the first hat in the assembly line. On your turn, you're going to have your 2-card hand. You're going to play a card and then draw the front hat of the line unless something changes. So for instance, this is the premium top hat. It says I can arrange the assembly line in any order. So I'm going to start my turn by playing that. I have a top hat, so I know that nobody's going to shoot the moon. So I'm going to give this guy a premium top hat, and I'm going to arrange the assembly line in any order. So I could take this top hat, which would mean that he would get this premium derby, but I want the premium derby. So I'm going to change that up. That means that this guy's going to get a top hat, that guy's going to get a newsboy, he's going to get a top hat, and I want this cowboy, or newsboy. Let's change it like this. Let's put both top hats in a row. And then I draw a card. I get the front card of the line. His turn. He's got a premium cowboy hat and a premium trilby, so he has to play something here. Give one of your hats to any, so the premium trilby, give one of your hats to any opponent. Cowboy hat, swap one hat with anyone from the assembly line. So, let's get a close-up of these. Notice the difference here. The premium trilby says, give one of your hats to any opponent. It specifically says one of your hats. Whereas the cowboy hat says, swap any hat with one in the assembly line. That could be an opponent's hat, right? Which is important. So, this guy is going to play the cowboy hat on me. It says swap any hat with one from the assembly line. So he's going to take this Hamburg and he's going to swap it out and he's going to take the Hamburg. Simple as that. This guy goes, he has a Hamburg and a boater. He's going to keep the boater for himself and take the top hat. His turn, a derby and a newsboy. He's going to keep the newsboy for himself, take this newsboy. And then my turn, I'm going to give him a boater, so he's paired up, and I'm going to take this cowboy hat. Okay? Out come 5 new cards. I don't care which order you deal these out either. You can start at the front or the back, just as long as we know which one's front, which one's back. This guy goes, he has a premium Hamburg and a premium trilby. He is going to play his trilby over here. His premium trilby says, give one of your hats to any opponent, so he's also going to give him this trilby. So now he's paired up. And then he takes the front hat. This guy's got a Hamburg and a topper. He's going to give me the topper and take the Hamburg. So now he has a pair of Hamburgers in his hand. That's kind of important. This guy has a newsboy and a derby. Nobody has either of those, so he's going to keep the derby for himself and take this trilby. I go and I have a premium derby. I'm going to give him this premium derby, which says swap any hat with one in the assembly line. I'm going to go ahead and use myself here. And I'm going to take this fedora. And then I'll take this. And then the last guy goes, and he has a premium Hamburg and a newsboy. Now, the premium Hamburg says arrange the assembly line in any order. So it's pretty much useless for him to play it. But that might be good. Like, it might be good for him to just get rid of it when he, doesn't need to. But right now, he's going to pair this guy's newsboy up, and he's going to go ahead and take this top hat. We do it again. What do we have? We have 2 Hamburgs. So that's not bad. He's going to play a Hamburg on himself and take this one. He's hoping that people forget what he has in his hand, or he can somehow get that last Hamburg. It might happen. Who knows? This guy goes, newsboy and a trilby. He's going to pair up your trilby, take a fedora. I have a newsboy. I'm going to take any one hat from the assembly line this turn. I'm going to take this fedora. So that hat allows me to take any one instead of the front one. This guy, top hat and a Hamburg. He's going to give me the top hat because he sees that, I have the most potential. He has nothing right now. Hamburg guy is going to give himself a Hamburg and take the cowboy. Then we do it again. This will be the last round. So Hamburg guy doesn't know where the other Hamburg is, or maybe he does if he's been keeping track. So one of the secrets here is that you can hide a card in your hand. If you never play that second card, nobody knows what it is, which is kind of cool. So you can just keep playing one card in and out, so nobody knows what that last card is in your hand which is important, and I'll show you why here in a second. Derby guy. Derby guy doesn't have any premium hats. That sucks for Derby guy. He's going to give, I mean, he knows I'm going to get that fedora. He doesn't want that fedora to go to me, but he doesn't want to give him a point. So he's going to give him a point anyway, just to make sure that I can't shoot the moon, which, unbeknownst to him, I would have been able to do that. Cowboy hat. I am going to give... I don't want to give anybody this cowboy hat. You have 1 point. I'll give it to you, and I'll take this fedora. This guy has a cowboy hat. He's going to give it to me and take a derby. This guy is not going to be able to shoot the moon, which is not good for him. So he's going to pair up this guy, take this boater. And last guy goes, he has a newsboy and a boater. He's just going to keep the boater for himself and then take this derby. That ends the hand. At the end of the hand, you have the option to play any cards in your hand. You don't have to play them, but you can choose to. I have 2 fedoras in my hand, which if I'd have got paired up, I would have been able to shoot the moon. So I'm not going to play any of those cards. This guy has a Hamburg and a derby, so he's going to put him down. Of course he is. That's points. He has a boater and a Hamburg. There's really no reason for him to put them down, but, you know, he could. And this guy has a newsboy and a derby. Again, he's not going to play him. So then we score. I have 2 singles, that's 2 points. He has 3 singles, that's 3 points. He has 1 single, that's 1 point. And he has 2 singles, that's 2 points. So 2, 3, 1, 2 is the current score. That's the hand. We shuffle up, do it again. All right, that's simply how you play a hand of Madder Than the Hatter. The game will consist of a number of rounds equal to the number of players, so 3 or 4 rounds. That way everybody's had a chance to be on the button an equal number of times. Most points wins. If there's a tie, I would say probably play another hand. It's such a fast game, why not? I don't really have a tie rule. If somebody comes up with a tie rule, that's cool. So the only other thing that you didn't see there is if somebody is able to get a exclusive, it's 5 points, which is a huge bonus, right? Maybe too huge. I might have to knock it down to 3, which is probably more useful. But it's very rare, very, very rare. So I wanted to make it kind of like, damn, you know? But making it so damn, it means that everybody's going to play against it. So maybe knocking it down to 3 points means some people kind of ignore it a little bit because it doesn't seem like that huge of a boost. Or maybe even make it 2 points, so then it becomes even more common because people aren't really concerned about it. I'm not sure. Again, that's playtesting stuff, right? And that's where I need you guys to help me playtest. The last little bit that we have to cover is special characters. So I want there to be 4 characters in the deck, which will make this an even 36 cards, and I need your help figuring out what those 4 characters are. Right now I have 3. So in my 3 I have do not count 1 card. So that one is a 1-point swing, which basically says, you know, if I have a pair of Hamburgs, for instance, I can just discard 1, so now I score a point. Do not count 1 suit that you have. So maybe I have 3 Hamburgs and you have 1 Hamburg, or maybe I have 2 and you have 1. I can just say we're not counting Hamburgs, so you don't get that point. So both of those are 1-point swings. I can take 1 from a face-up that's not part of a Monopoly. So that would allow, you know, say at the end of the game, you have these 2 Hamburgs and I want a point, so I just take it and I get a point. It would give you a point, but maybe me getting a point is more important. But if you have 3, I can take 1 and I'm not giving you a point and I get to keep a point. So that is a 1 or maybe even a 2-point swing. Like, you know, maybe I leave you with your 2 and I take his Hamburg. So now he lost a point, I gain a point. So the last one I had, again, was still the do not take a discard. That's not going to work because there is no discard. I have not developed on these much, but I think one of them is going to be something like, if you have the majority of premium hats, you'll get a point, or something like that. So it'll be focused on getting premium hats. But I need your help on those. Playtest the game, please, please, please playtest the game, and figure out what kind of cool special abilities you want. Again, the link's in the description for the PDF of the cards, and I'd love to hear back from you. The feedback on this series has been amazing. You guys are awesome, so thank you very much for that. I really want to get this done in time for Gen Con, so I've got some work to do on the logo, which I don't mind that logo. I'd like to touch it up a little bit more and make it a little better, and then design the box and the card backs and lay the rules out and all that stuff. But before I can do any of that, I need your help to help finish this. So please play test, please tell me what you got, and I'll see you next time.